Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. I just discovered something that lightweight shook me, and that is former heavyweight boxing champion George Foreman has been accused of sexually abusing a couple of minor females back in the 1970s. And when I read that headline, I'm like, is this some kind of a joke or something? But I read the article, short article, and I'm going to read that in a minute. But it's actually true, allegedly, that he has been accused of sexual misconduct with two female minors back in the 1970s. Now, you already know where this is going. But listen, I'm going to read this short article. It's very short because I want you to get the gist of this. And then I'm going to give you what I believe is a conspiracy. Now, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat with this. And I'm going to give you what I think is going on here. I mean, what is really going on here? What is really going on? But let's get right into this article. Let's get into this. Former heavyweight champion George Foreman has been accused in a lawsuit of sexually abusing two minor girls in the 1970s. Unbelievable. All the way back in the 1970s. How many years ago was that? 800 years ago? The lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court by two women who say they met the boxer when they were children, according to Yahoo News. Okay, Yahoo News. How many people talk about Yahoo News? The women filing the lawsuit under their names Gwen H. and Denise S. say that after being introduced to Foreman by their fathers, one of whom was Foreman's sparring partner, the boxer groomed them for sex for years until initiating a sexual relationship with them in their early teen years. This is some crazy, crazy mess. But let's go on. One of the litigants claims that Foreman even warned her that her father could lose his job if she did not agree to Foreman's suggestions. Now, I'm not saying, let me say something real quick. I'm not saying that Foreman didn't do this, but I find it rather odd that, once again, these women would come out of nowhere after over 850,000 years to make these accusations. It kills me, man. It kills me. But let's go on. The 73-year-old boxing champ, released a statement last month about the developing lawsuit per TMZ. Over the past 6 months, two women have been trying to extort millions of dollars each from me and my family. They are falsely claiming that I sexually abused them over 45 years ago in the 1970s, Foreman told TMZ. I adamantly and categorically deny these allegations. The pride I take in my reputation means as much to me as my sports accomplishments, and I will not be intimidated by baseless threats and lies, he added. I am and always will be guided by my faith and trust in God, Foreman concluded. Amen to that. If in fact this is true, if in fact this is a lie, then amen to that. God got your back, brother. I will work with my lawyers to fully and truthfully expose my accuser's scheme and defend myself in court. I don't pick fights, but I don't run away from them either. Foreman insists that the pending lawsuit is part of a scheme to extort $25 million from him out of his $300 million net worth. And I didn't know that's the end of the article there. I didn't know he was worth $300 million. Nice amount. That's a nice amount of money to have accumulated over the years, but God bless him for that here. But that's what's going on. I mean, he's being accused of sexual abuse of these young girls, teenage girls. Now, am I saying that, as I said earlier, that this didn't happen? No, we already know the situation with Bill Cosby, right? We already know about that situation, about what he was accused of doing 850 years ago, okay? Y'all know what my mindset is on that. And I believe that Bill Cosby, looking back in that, I'm pretty sure he was involved in it, that it did happen. Because you don't know what these people are involved in, before they start making changes in their life, whatever. We don't know what their past is, But here is something that's interesting to me. Now I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on here. It seems like there is some kind of conspiracy. I can't prove this. It's just something I'm feeling. Like I said, I'm pulling on my tinfoil hat. It seems to be some kind of external conspiracy to destroy the reputation of people, regardless of their racial ethnicity, okay? But it seems to be, to me, some external force of either people or whatever to destroy the reputation of individuals, celebrities, and people in positions of influence that we've known for decades. It seems to be some type of a conspiracy, external conspiracy to destroy their reputation for whatever nefarious means. It's like these, it's like somebody comes out of nowhere. These two women come out of nowhere. This is the first time I've ever heard of this. Now, if you guys have known anything about George Foreman being accused of any sexual misconduct, let me know in the comment boxes below. This is the first time I've ever heard anything about this, from George, in reference to George Foreman. It was the first thing I've ever heard about it in reference to Bill Cosby. Now, I've heard celebrities talking about, in interviews, talking about, well, I'm not surprised that Bill Cosby was accused of this because I knew him from such and such. Okay, well, let's see how this developing story is going to be with George Foreman. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see who's going to be interviewed next on TMZ or whatever one of these other mainstream outlets. Let's see what they're going to say. Well, I'm not surprised that George Foreman would be accused of this. I knew him back in when I was in Tabukaville or whatever. I knew him when he was in the Players Ball. He was a pimp back in the days. I don't know. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens with this. But suffices to say, I find it interesting to me. So it's like there's some type of external conspiracy to destroy the reputation of people that we have commonly looked up to as role models, at least to some extent. I've looked at people like George Foreman and Bill Cosby as role models. And it seems like to me that all of a sudden these women come out of nowhere decades later accusing these individuals of sexual misconduct. Now, to me, that sounds funky. You mean why would you wait? It's the same question is going to be all the time. Why wait decades later to accuse these people of sexual misconduct? Now, to me, the excuse of, well, we were scared of what might happen is a bunch of bull crap. I don't believe that at all. In my opinion, I believe that's a bunch of bull crap. That's a bunch of bull crap. We were scared of what he might do. Man, get out of here. Like what? What are you going to do? Assassinate you and your family? Get out of here. I don't believe that at all. And maybe I'm overstating myself here, but I don't believe that at all. I believe in my opinion, remember now my tinfoil hat is on. This is a theory that I formed. In my opinion, what I believe this is that this is latched onto the Me Too movement, which is associated, from what I understand, with a radical feminist worldview to destroy the reputation of strong men in this country. To demonize their reputation, take them out of the position of authority and influence and replace it with a matriarchal headship, which is women. That's what I personally, in my opinion, believe. You don't have to agree with it. You can disagree with it. That's what I believe based on my observations, based on my studying of radical feminism, and based on what I'm hearing and seeing. That's what I personally believe. So I believe there's a conspiracy against strong men who have strong reputations, because I don't hardly hear this against women who have a lot of reputation and influence. I don't hardly hear this against them. I hardly hear this against them. It's always men, regardless of their racial ethnicity. It's always men. And all of a sudden, they come out of nowhere talking about something. Well, he accused us of he sexually abused us when we was, come on, man. That's what that sounds like to me. It's an attempt, a radical feminist attempt to destroy the reputation of strong, influential men in this country. That's what I believe this is. That's what I believe the Me Too movement is all about. Now, could the Me Too movement be used to help? Yes. But I haven't known of anywhere it's ever really helped, because from what I understand, and correct me in the comment box if I'm wrong, the Me Too movement's ideology at one point was believe the woman. In other words, if the woman makes accusations about the man abusing her or whatever, believe her anyway. Why? Because she's a woman. And she's always a victim. And that's a man. And he's always the oppressor. You have to be as dumb as a box of rocks to follow that narrative. Really? Are you serious? Believe them simply because they're a woman? Don't research the facts. Don't examine what's really going on. Have everyone paid attention to the fact that maybe this woman has bitter anguish against this man. I mean, even the Bible itself says in the book of Proverbs, hell hath no fury more than a woman scorned. So if a woman feels like she's scorned, she'll do anything she can to destroy that man's reputation. I know it personally. And I'm not a perfect man, but I know I'm a man of integrity. The devil is a lie. And I know people that I know have tried to destroy my reputation. It didn't work because God was with me and is with me. But I know personally how that can happen. So the same thing I believe here is going on here. And as he said in his, and as Mr. George Foreman said, he believes that this is an attempt to extract, get money from him. $25 million lawsuit attempt to get money from him. He has a $300 million estate. That's a lot of money. I'm not saying in the ending of this video that he did not do this. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I find it strange and odd that they would come out decades later and start making these accusations against him. And let me end the video on this. What did George Foreman say or do to provoke these women to come out of the woodworks like termites, come out of the woodworks and make these accusations against him? What did George Foreman do? What did he say? What's going on? What provoked them to do this? What, they woke up one morning and had an epiphany? You need to bring this out. What happened here? What's going on here? I guess we're going to find out because this is still a growing story. So we're going to find out, and I'll more than likely keep you guys updated on this. But that's what I wanted to say about that. I believe, in my opinion, in the summation and ending of this video, that there is an attempt, and some kind of nefarious attempt from external forces, such as perhaps the Me Too movement and other radical feminist groups, to destroy the reputation of strong, influential men in this country. That's what I believe this is. Well, what do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.